Hey everybody, as you can see here, we've kind of got the Armageddon set up here, so I have to ask if anyone has any last wishes. If you were unaware, that is what Ninjini would say. Ninjini, of course, is going to be our final giant. At last, long last, they've given us the last unique character to the game, if you will. That said, she basically joins, if we kind of pan over that way just a tad, you can kind of see Crusher at the edge of the frame. Granite Crusher, Bouncer, Legendary Bouncer, Swarm. Back over this way, we've got Hothead, Eyebrow, Tree Rex, and Thumpback. So, she's the 8th giant, obviously Granite Crusher and Legendary Bouncer, kind of the two other, little side issues there, but Ninjini, like I said, at long last has arrived. That whole hullabaloo they did at Times Square, where Toys R Us and Activision teamed up at the Toy Fair. Can't remember now if it was Activision or Toys R Us was carrying on about how, the ones they were giving away, were such a big deal because we wouldn't see her for months. Kind of, leading most people to believe they're going to treat Ninjini like Whamshell, where she doesn't surface until June. Luckily that was not the case. They had her cranked out, ready for production and distribution. Where I picked her up, GameStop.com, just like Spyro and Wrecking Ball. Priced at her $14.99 for a giant. That said, obviously she's going to be sought after, kind of like I mentioned in Spyro and Wrecking Ball. Some people that already have Spyro or Wrecking Ball from the Skylanders Spyro's Adventure might not be picking up the Series 2, but Ninjini is unique. Even before the game launched, for quite a few people, she was the most sought-after giant. I've heard she's pretty good now, too, since she's come out, so that won't help matters any. But the good news is GameStop, in addition to their website having her, she's been hitting brick-and-mortar stores starting like Monday, Tuesday of this week. Should see that trend continue. Similarly, people have found her at Best Buy, Walmart. I'm sure some people have found her at Target. I haven't heard about it. Also, Amazon has had her in stock off and on. I checked a little bit earlier today. They had it set up where you could actually order her at $14.99. They said they'd have stock in on Monday and then ship from there. So she shouldn't be too hard to find. Again, if you're having trouble finding her, just be patient. Just like with Thumpback and Eyebrow, which were such a pain to find, just a couple weeks ago. Now you walk in stores, again, even here where I'm at, and it's very hard not to find them, if you just check out a few stores. So you should be able to find her. If not, give it a week or two, keep trying. She's eventually going to become, as commonplace as the others. Bottom line, what I'm getting at is pay $14.99 if you go to Toys R Us, $15.99 if they don't have a sale of some sort. But don't shell out, $40, $50. The whole reason so many people like myself got mad about the Times Square deal is, number one, they blatantly lied about it, but then number two, I think it was like a Tuesday when kids are in school and normal people that do this as a hobby or something fun should be at work. It kind of really catered. I don't know if they intended this or didn't have a PR team to think about it, but it came across, it just caters to the scumbag that sits at home in their apartment and raids toy stores and grocery stores and whatever the heck they think they can sell on eBay and make a lot of money on. And sadly, there were some people that bought into what they said, and it's not uncommon to see people that shelled out a couple $100 to get one of the first Ninjinis. And I hate to say it, but it's simply not worth it. It's worth $15, and that's it. So that's why I reiterate it every time. Patience is a virtue. Good things come to those who wait. And in this case, it's not shelling out a ridiculous amount of money for something that will never be worth that. Similarly, since we have her out here and we're kind of rambling, Scarlet Ninjini will be another in-game variant, just like Jade and Molten that we unboxed to begin the night. She is up on German Amazon. I debated ordering her. I'm inclined to believe, she's going to be the Amazon exclusive here as well. There's some people that'll jump out and say, well, we don't know that. I feel pretty confident about it. Regardless, she's going to be somewhere. It doesn't make sense for Walmart or Target to have her. You look back, Gold Flame Slinger that you kind of see right in the back corner above Ninjini's fist. He was there early. Amazon exclusive. It would make sense if Scarlet Ninjini was kind of like the tail end exclusive for him. That would just leave Polar Whirlwind. But bottom line, it's going to come up somewhere. And again, don't pay more than retail. I'm hoping Amazon gets it because the way they did Gold Flame Slinger, you could essentially place multiple orders, but on the same order. You couldn't, order 3 Gold Flame Slingers, get Super Saver shipping for free, and repeat it, etc. They kind of capped you at 1, and that's just minor inconveniences like that where you have to pay freight or buy something else. Kind of takes a hit at the scalpers. Plus, I haven't checked maybe in a week or so, but Gold Flame Slinger has always been in stock, so if they get Scarlet and Ninjini, I will hope for the same. That said, there are a few people I know that have ordered Scarlet off of the German Amazon, and I believe it is the 15th of March they claim she'll ship out, but I'll cover that. You can follow along on the blog, Twitter, Google+, Facebook, if the site ever lets me post without freezing up. Nonetheless, now what we want to cover, since I've reiterated just pay retail, is Ninjini herself. Box art isn't too bad. I'm not a huge fan of it, but like I said, I've heard from Cassie. I think she took her through all the heroics, and she said I think maybe at least numerically she comes out quicker than Stealth Elf. That is a very, very pleasant surprise. I wasn't anticipating any giant, particularly after playing with them, as having speed. So if she's that quick, even though I wasn't initially drawn to her, I'm a big fan of speed. Again, I kind of use like the hit and run tactics in the way I play the game, so that'll be pretty sweet. But there she is in the packaging, Ninjini again, like we covered at the start. Slogan, any last wishes. Won't work at all with Skylanders Spyro's Adventure, obviously. She will work in Giants. Coming around to the backside, there's her box art screenshot. Looks pretty cool. Not quite sure where she's at. Maybe like an elemental zone somewhere, like chapter 2, maybe something like that. Other Giants featured Eyebrow, Swarm, Thumpback, and Bouncer. And Skylander Giants, Super Size and Super Power, and Light Up Effect. The Light Up Effect is something I'm curious to see. I actually refrain from letting myself, research that ahead of time, so it'll kind of be a surprise to me. I'm not expecting much, so on that note, I will either be, pleasantly surprised or disappointed as expected. That said, her story kind of unique. I don't know, for whatever reason, I realized her name's Ninjini, Ninja Genie. I kind of took her more as like a genie, and based on her story, it kind of seems like be more of the ninja background, but if I can remember correctly the way it went, Ninjini was not one of, or amongst the best, but the most respected warrior back in the day. A jealous witch, or sorceress, I guess, actually imprisoned her in a enchanted bottle. In that enchanted bottle, Ninjini actually perfected, as you can see here, in her pose, the dual sword technique. And through the years, she grew stronger and stronger until eventually, as said by Sure Will, she actually broke free. She carries the enchanted bottle with her as a reminder, and she became one of the first Skylanders long before the Archeans ever came to power. So, interesting story, and it would provide pretty cool content for like a side quest of sorts, if you will. But again, with the Giants, haven't had to stress this in a while, but be very careful when you unbox them. I don't know where she lights up yet, but you don't want to, just rip her out in the event that you actually kind of like damage the light up effect. So what I like to do is come in and break the bottom loose. As you can see, just kind of separated. Feel pretty confident I haven't screwed anything up yet. Then, if possible, I like to grab by the base. She seems a little fragile. Came out pretty easy though, so that's the good news. Here she is. We'll kind of go fairly lightweight, really. But we'll cover that here in a second. Of course, with the Giants, they put the cards down there in the bottom. It's actually a pretty clever way of doing it. Shows off more of the box art. But we'll set that aside, kind of out of the frame for you. And what you get with Ninjini is directions that I hope no one's ever bothered to read. A stat card, which sadly correlates in no way to the game, and then a sticker sheet. You've got Ninjini's motion art pose, if you will, name, like for storage containers, posters, whatever you want to do, QR code, and then below that's going to be our web code for Skylanders universe. That said, we're going to go ahead, first thing, take a look at Ninjini's stats here. Kind of hard to get them both in the frame where you can see it. The good news is her card's very simple, so you'll just have to take my word for what I say. Power or strength, 100 of 150. Defense or armor, 100 of 150. Speed or agility, and this is exciting, 100 of 150. And then very, very rare to see, we've got luck, 150 of 150. So for those of you scoring at home, out of a possible total of 600, Ninjini is sporting a 450, which is incredibly solid. Again, sadly, the card doesn't correlate to much, but they give it to us, so we're going to talk about it. We'll set that aside real quick. She does have some flex to her. I'm sure that might just be part of the design, but it's kind of nice. The swords are kind of flimsy, but the good news is, with that being the case, they're probably not as likely to break. That said, she is someone that, if you don't store her upright, if you put her in a case or something, might pay extra attention to her. But let's see, we've got the magic element on her belt there. Looks like she's coming up out of a bottle or something. I think this must be, when we first unboxed her, I could only see that, and I actually thought it was like the sheath for the sword. But I'm guessing now that's the enchanted bottle she was trapped in. I think I remember from the preview when they highlighted the soul gem, maybe. Seems like she does something with the bottle, but nonetheless, looks pretty dadgum good. Not much else to say. All I'd know that might light up is like I don't know even what to call that, where her legs should be floating at. I don't know. Nonetheless, we're just not going to talk about it. We're going to find out. So, got our old trusty wireless portal from the Wii. Okay, that's actually not too bad. There's kind of like a bluish glow more than the purple. I didn't expect that. And then if you note, her eyes also light up. I think she's going to look pretty good in the dark. It's not like the most dramatic light up effect, but I'm actually kind of impressed. I'm possibly saying that because I've been disappointed by so many, but I think she's going to look good. I'm going to go kill the lights, give you a better look at her. Oh yeah. Just clear from the light switch, which is not too far away, but she looks great. I mean, her hair, I realize it's not lit up, but it's almost like it's, translucent before they apply the paint. I mean, you can actually see like red, scarlet colored light coming up through there. Looks really, really good. Again, in person, it's like it's not a super dark blue, but maybe like an ocean blue, not only in the midsection here, but the base. And then the eyes are a piercing white. The face lights up now that we've got the lights out. Same with the hair. With the lights on, I had no idea that the face and the hair was going to illuminate as well. This may very well be the best light up effect on a giant in my opinion. Tree Rex is pretty solid. Crusher looks good. But I mean, that's really well done because it applies to the whole figure. Whereas like with Hothead here, we got like one flame out of a potential 3, which was a pretty big disappointment. Tree Rex was cool just because of the eyes, and then you've got blue and green. But that is really good. We'll got a theme going here. There's Thumpback again. It looks good, but it's not too dramatic. Eyebrow. You know what happens with him. For the record, I didn't plan on doing this, but it's pretty convenient. Bouncer lights up. It's actually pretty good, but nothing too crazy. Swarm. Again, not anything to write home about. And lastly, I think this is regular Crusher. Kind of like the multicolored ones. I realize like with Ninjini, it's probably like one single light up effect, but what's cool, it applies not only to the bottom, midsection, face, hair, eyes. I mean, it's like a full figure light up basically. I could complain, that the swords or the arms or the hands or something don't light up, but this actually is really well done. I'll turn her to the side for you now. There's a view from the back. Here's from the other side. And lastly, there she is again, full body shot. We'll come in. There is the base. Again, the camera does showcase it, but in person it's got a little bit more depth to the blue. It's not as like white. And again, I mean, that's pretty cool. If every giant had that type of detail, I would be pretty freaking happy. But nonetheless, I'm going to go ahead and turn the lights back on for it. And like I said, if I don't know how many people play in the dark, but I mean, I just showed her to you with the lights out, and I mean, you can tell the eyes light up and the midsection here, but with the lights on, you would have no idea that her face illuminates and that the hair does as well. I am very impressed by that. Wasn't really, like I said, I wasn't expecting much. I was really ready to be disappointed again, but that's really good. I don't know, maybe they had her slated for release around Christmas and decided they could do better with a light effect. I don't know, but she looks good. It's the bottom line. I'm pretty happy. Gonna go ahead and kill that so we'll have battery life for a legendary chill here in a second. But this is Ninjini. She is the magic element giant that kind of held out. Again, the magic trio, I used to refer to Spyro, Wrecking Ball, and of course Ninjini here. $14.99 is the retail price. That's what you want to pay for it. Again, I picked her up from GameStop.com. Very, very impressed. In addition, with Cassie telling me that she's extremely quick, I'm excited. Hopefully she plays well. The cool thing, kind of like with Crusher and Granite Crusher, same way with Bouncer, Legendary Bouncer. If I'm able to get Scarlet and Ninjini, I'll be able to have both paths, and when we're to that point, I can kind of compare and contrast them for you. But she looks really good, has a unique pose. I like it because she's got the weapons. It's not the most elaborate, but I mean, it does fit in with the story. Gotta give them credit for that. The dual sword technique, she mastered while imprisoned in the bottle. Funny she broke out of the bottle without breaking the bottle though, but we won't dwell on that. We'll try to focus on just the simpler things in life. But kind of has, like that tulip purple Eastery color. But yet, when she lights up, it's kind of like that ocean blue is the best way I could describe it. Kind of just like we saw with Thumpback. He's got the purple barnacles on his, wrist and hand. lights up really blue though. That's kind of the same thing with Ninjini here, but overall she's got a good pose. Light up effect is awesome, particularly with the lights out. If you have Ninjini, or you're gonna get her, or when you get her, make sure to turn the lights out. I think you'll appreciate her a little bit more if you do that. But that is about it. Like I said, I'm excited to see how she plays with the speed. Similarly, if I can land Scarlet Ninjini, we'll have both pass, so we'll kind of have her covered. But what you get for $14.99, Ninjini, her trading card, well, stat card if you will, the sticker sheet with the web code, and don't pay more than that. You know, she may be hard to come by for a couple of weeks, but just like you can walk in a store now and see Thumpback, and if you recall, just several weeks prior to that, he was impossible to find. Keep that in mind. Don't feed the scalpers. And just for the perfectionists out there, if you collect like the packaging or the box art or something, looks really good. They kind of do have the blue. Couldn't see it when she was in there, but kind of like the purple cloud and then kind of the blue torso leg area. Again, I don't really know what to call it, but nonetheless, pretty impressive. Great light up effect in my opinion. Questions, comments you can ask here on YouTube. However, for a quicker response, just use the video description box. I've got a blog link first thing in there. It'll take you right to a post. It'll be solely about Ninjini. Any questions or comments you have, I usually hit the blog every night. You can follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook, circle me on Google+, whichever you prefer. As always, thanks for watching, and until next time, we will catch you later.